3. And after the history of 85 years of Superman, we're talking about 10 years of Man of Steel. Now we're venturing towards the future. We're talking about Superman Legacy by James Gunn, venturing into the unknown, which we hope will be the saving grace for the DC Universe, is James Gunn's Superman Legacy, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, will be writing and directing.
Yes.
So, William, I'll start with you. Because I know you're into Zack Snyder, but first I'd like to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts about, Superman Legacy with James Gunn on the helm, and, how do you think he's gonna have a home run with this?
I think James Gunn will do okay with Superman and Superman Legacy. The thing is, it goes back to a point that me and Tariq have been saying from the beginning. It's all about how you perceive Superman, what runs of Superman that you like. Again, some people, comic book wise, you could be Jeff Johns, you could be Straczynski, right? Television wise, there are people who are animated series, Lois and Clark, Smallville, and so basically it'll be what your particular take or what you value or would like to see Superman, how you like to see him function. And so most of the Superman films that I've seen in my lifetime, or interpretations of Superman I've seen in my lifetime, have all been good with their own merit, with their own reason. So even when you go into something like Superman Returns, and I'll Be Quiet, which a lot of people didn't like. So what happened? Bryan Singer was trying to do what Zack Snyder did successfully, was how do I take somebody like Superman and have him fit, within a modern context, right? Without necessarily making it a period piece. So he's a very complicated character, more complicated than most people realize. Superman is a philosopher. If you guys look at Man of Steel, when he was punched to the ground, what book did he have in his hand? It was called Plato's Republic. Right? And Plato's Republic is a book about the philosopher king and debates on how society should be managed, how it should be ran. And so Superman himself is in the process of asking that question. So between Zack Snyder, James Gunn, Straczynski, all these guys have very different ideas about how we get there and how it looks. And again, I'm not going to sit as a Zack Snyder fan and go, oh, well, the Zack Snyder thing was superior to James Gunn, because that is going to have an audience that it resonates with. And unlike what the other audiences did to us Zack Snyder fans, I'm going to cheer it on. And the people who do like the James Gunn stuff, I'm going to support it, as opposed to standing on my mountain saying that that's not Superman and looking to take that away from them. Right. So that's my perspective on it.
So for you guys, Tarek, Des, what do you think would be the core element in a Superman film, as what he was saying earlier, that you think would make it successful for James Gunn if he's going to employ, the history or, the bright colors or whatever? Des?
What did he say again? He said he wanted to make it not cheerful. What was the word?
About love.
He wanted to make it a bit more, hopeful. Yeah. And what he was saying, that the casting has to be right. And I know he was looking at this new guy. What's his name? Pearson Fode. Mm-hmm. And who looks the part. He does look the part. And he said, he did like what he saw in the audition. So I mean, I'm just looking at the picture now, and he does look the part. But for me, the film, it's like what Will was saying. It's got to resonate. It's got to resonate well. I mean, for me personally, we've got so much stuff going on in the world, and look at the movies that have come out recently that just people have gone in and just escaped, and we just need some escape.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I want some escape. I want to go in there. I want to see him do some things, say some people. I want to see a different villain. That would be nice. Instead of Lex Luthor every 5 minutes. Obviously, Luthor has to be in it. Great. But I would love to see a Brainiac or something. Something new. Mm-hmm. And and to have a plan, a 3-movie plan, That would be nice.
A trilogy.
But yeah, I just want to. I want to go in there, entertain. I want to leave the cinema. How I just came out of Spider-Verse, like buzzing.
Okay, no spoilers for that one then.
I want to feel buzzing. You know, half of me thinks like they could just cut half of this and they just do it, put in 100 mil and do it animated.
Yeah.
We all get what we want. Nobody could abuse an actor on Twitter and nothing. You know what I mean? You just watch the time and go home. I just want. Yeah, that's
what would you like to see from James Gunn's Superman?
As long as he's hopeful. That's the core element. As long as he does what he does, he saves it hopeful. I'm just really worried. I'm really worried.
What's your worry about?
Because, like I told you, for the Snyderverse, for Man of Steel, I could see it was clearly Earth 1 and Birthright, the comics that he took from. James Gunn has already said he wants to do an iteration of All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman, yeah.
Which was a very hopeful, great comic.
Agreed. Yeah.
But at the same time, spoiler alert, it's the end of Superman in that comic. He dies.
That's true.
And also, the name of the movie is Superman Legacy. And legacy is something we leave behind. So my worry is that Superman is going to come in this movie and die, and then we'll have John Kent.
No more dying Superman movies. God!
I think he's going to be replaced by John Kent. I think he wants to bring in his legacy, his next son. That's why they're calling it Legacy.
No, I'll leave the cinema.
I'll leave the cinema too. I'll leave the cinema. I'll come with you.
I think we're in consensus with that one. We can tell James Gunn that don't kill Superman.
That's why I'm worried.
Don't kill Superman until like it's the death of Superman, like the reign of the Superman storyline and everything like that.
Yeah, save it for the second one.
All right, going back to all of you. If you would be asked of a definitive Superman, whether in whatever medium, in comics, in TV, or film, what would be the first one at the top of your list? Reeve. Yeah, we'll go with Christopher. Okay, there's 4 films for Christopher Reeve.
No, there ain't.
It's 2. It's only 2. I'm with that. It's only 2.
All right. So as far as I know, what is canon is like Superman 1 and Superman 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Bryan Singer scrapped 3 and 4 and went into Superman Returns.
Yeah.
That's what I understood.
Yeah. Correct.
So technically, at the back of majority of us, they're thinking Superman 3 and 4 didn't happen at all.
It didn't happen. There was 3 was it's something to do. You know what? When you're doing the hoovering and it's something that's on the TV, that's how good that film was.
Oh my God.
Superman 4 was just like, you know what? I have got a cold, and I'm just like, and he's on.
Yeah.
But in fairness, I mean, with Superman Returns, you mentioned Superman Returns earlier. I just wanted to go back into that. The Arrowverse.
Which one's that?
Superman Returns, Brandon Routh.
Oh, is that the one where he died twice in the movie?
Yeah.
He died twice and lifted a bunch of heavy objects.
Sorry, carry on.
Well, in fairness to that, I think Arrowverse did something good somehow with Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
Do you think it's? I mean, it's like a swan song for his version of Superman.
Yes, it was good. I liked it. Yeah, and you know what's funny? When he was here for Comic-Con, I told him he probably already knew, right? Because I had the chance to meet Brandon Routh, really nice guy, very nice guy, and I said, I bet you're gonna put that suit on again, right? He probably was laughing on the inside because he knew well in advance, but no, man, it's. Like I said, it's just like I said before, Superman is a very complicated character, and it will always be controversial because just like we're all saying, everybody feels that they own him, right? Everyone feels that, no one knows him better than I do. And so he will always be, and I wish that's something that Warner Brothers, the studio, realized, that Superman will always be controversial because people feel like they own them. And so like when you look at something like Batman, Batman has creative freedom because he's an anti-hero, right? So you could look at Batman from as many different angles as you want because there's not what am I trying to say? It's not as definitive or as rigid in the sense as people would see Superman.
My next question.
You know what?
Tell me.
Your little line there, people think they own him.
Yes.
think of it like McDonald's. You go to McDonald's, yeah?
Yeah.
And you've gone in there most of the time of your life since you were a little kid.
Yeah.
You're just getting your Happy Meals and what stuff.
Right.
And you know what I mean? You got that affinity for McDonald's. So you're a customer. So you expect your Big Mac be a Big Mac. You
Right.
expect your whatever. You're a customer. So technically, moving the McDonald's thing aside, you are a customer of Superman. You do own him. They may hold the rights, but if you stop buying Superman, then they ain't got nothing.
But that's the thing though, Des, right? Here's the thing. Most people know Superman from television. So for example, if you were somebody that read Superman Peace on Earth, Batman War on Crime, John Byrne, your perspective, you have lived with that character to understand him from different angles. The majority of the audience knows 78, Lois and Clark, Smallville. So this is where I'm coming from, that ownership. So like, you know, a lot of people, like, we're Superman fans, right? So if we're comic book fans, if they decided to make a movie, Superman Grounded, Mike Straczynski, and Superman just walking around America asking people their thoughts about him being super. As comic book fans, we could appreciate that, but for people, correct. So there are things that we as comic book fans know and appreciate about Superman that people who only know him from television don't. It's a surface relationship. Yeah.
Oh, what's your thoughts about Tyler Hoechlin?
I like him. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know what I'm saying? I like him. Look, I'm going to give the man credit where credit is due. This is Superman at a different time in his life, right? He has a wife, you know, he has 2 sons, you know, so, you know, he has 2 sons, and then, you know, the struggle of being who he is, and, you know, what that places on a family and what that does. And I like the idea of people allowing characters to evolve, right? You know, because this is how, you know, this is one of the things that makes them timeless, and this is one of the things where the audience, in a sense, can move through them with life. Again, DC, shout out to the New 52, but if they would have let me do the New 52, Connor Kent would have been Superman, Dick Grayson would have been Batman, you know what I'm saying? So Cassie would have become Wonder Woman. So a lot of times we kind of get stuck in this creative modes, and then the old guard of the Justice League, I would have had them become the new gods, right? Or the new Pantheon. If you would have given me.
You've just knocked out a great storyline. That would be impeccable. That's something I would definitely.
Somehow it's being tapped into in the recent storyline by DC that they did, Dark Crisis.
Yeah.
Where all of the existing heroes have been decimated, and then you have all of these new guys, the sidekicks stepping up into the bigger plates.
Yeah, that was a good crisis. Not too bad.
So that's, you know, again, so that's the thing. So, you know, we tend to want to, you know, hold our people, you know, in the bottom. But like, even when you look at Superman Grounded, Superman is somebody that is constantly evolving. He even questions himself, right? Again, those of us that comic book fans know, there was a time Superman looked back at humanity and said, is it better do I stay Superman? Is Lex right? Should I rule over them? Should I, you know, he asks, you know what I'm saying? He asks all of these questions, and those are questions that you see only when you're somebody buying the comic books, right? When you're watching them on television, it is a completely different experience.
All right, guys, I've got to run. I have another meeting, but it's been an absolute pleasure. You can slack me off all you want when I'm gone. All right.
Don't worry. I'll harass you in person. I'm always here for you.
And bro, I can't wait to be over there, and me and you gonna fist up in that studio. Believe. We're gonna bring it.
Bring it on. I'll smoke that pack.
Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I have one last question for each one.
Yeah.
All right. Going back into your topic regarding comic books. For all our viewers right now, what is your first recommended reading that they can start into to learn more about Superman?
Man of Steel, John Byrne.
Chef's kiss.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Chef's kiss.
For me, it's Birthright. Superman Birthright.
Superman Birthright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second one after him.
For me, honestly, I really back to Superman Grounded. You know what I'm saying? You know, Straczynski's Superman Grounded. You know, Superman questioning himself and why he does what he does, right? To give you insight to what he's like personally. You know,
I will
more so.
semi-agree with you, but for somebody that just is just, I want to know more about Superman, I'll start them off light before getting into questions and stuff.
I get what you stole my thunder, man. I'm with you with I'm with you with John Byrne, Man of Steel, man. That's where I started.
That's why we finally agree on something, man. I'm out. See you in a bit.
Alright, see you, man.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's good for first reading. If I had to give 3-4 comics, it would be Birthright, Earth One, Superman Secret Identity,
Right.
and then the Man of Steel one.
Yeah.
That'll be my 4.
Recording stopped.
All right. So, okay. In closing, for me, 85 years is a lot of content in history for the world's first superhero.
Yes.
Well,
And best.
there will be, there would always be arguments about his relevance, but I think one thing is for sure. In my opinion, he has withstood the test of time.
100%.
And second, he has helped start a revolution that we all know as superheroes and pop culture.
100%.
So, hats off to Superman. Congratulations for his 85 years of endurance.
Yes.
10 years of the Man of Steel, and of
Yes.
course we are looking forward for James Gunn's version of the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So well, that wraps up our super edition of Panel of the Geeks. Thank you for joining us today. I would like to thank our special guest, of course, William, Dr. Tarek,
Thanks for having me.
and of course Des Sailor for sharing their insights and celebrating with us the 85 years of the Man of Steel. For them, Superman will always be the best superhero.
Hell yes.
Facts.
All right, for all our viewers, if you like our episode for today, please give the video a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and like to our channel. If you have any pop culture topic we'd like to cover at Panel of the Geeks, please message us below. Till then, we'll see you again next time. Thank you.